What do we think, John Vilma, of throwing the ball 4 times from the 1-yard line?
I absolutely hate it. And that summed up the whole game because I hated watching the script of this now Green Bay Packers going back to what they were. Pass, pass, pass. Aaron Rodgers left, Aaron Rodgers right. We're going to figure out something. And then Aaron Rodgers make a play for us. And then all of a sudden now they can't win a game because the defense isn't there and the run game isn't there. I hate it. And they need to get back to running the ball.
Mark, that 3rd down we just saw there is the run pass option. And then 4th down, they wind up with the long play here that he's looking for somebody. Where do you think it went wrong, Mark Sanchez?
If they catch one more ball in this game, it's a very different conversation. I'm not worried about the Packers at all.
So explain that. If Jimmy Graham holds on to one of those 2.
Jimmy Graham catches it, the last play of the game, they catch it. The DBs had a miscommunication, I think. I think the corners, they're supposed to pass those guys off. Aaron makes a great throw. Catch the ball. Just catch one ball. One tough catch for me. Guys made catches down the field. Allison makes big catches in the 2-minute drive. You talked about it, Bobby. Catch one more ball for me, and it's a very different conversation.
So you're not worried that every game before that, they ran the ball almost 50% of the time. And then now they go back to Aaron Rodgers win for us. And you're not concerned about that long term for the Packers and for Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not concerned about giving Aaron Rodgers the ball ever.
Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers threw for over 400 yards. Carson Wentz threw for less than 200. One team won and one team didn't because of the fact they were able to run the ball. You have to be able at some point to pick up a yard. And the other thing about Aaron running that RPO, he didn't grow up in the system. He's a guy that's 36 years old. He didn't run RPOs in high school and college. The young quarterbacks did. I don't enjoy putting my veteran quarterback, no matter how good of an athlete he is, in those situations with stuff he really hasn't grown up with.
Mark, let's talk about that play. Here it is. This is, well, that one there is the 2nd down.
Great play by Brandon Graham, by the way. Just not going for the fake at all. Running to the deepest player, running straight for the quarterback, ready for the boot. That's discipline.
And then the RPO that they run on the 3rd down, you were telling me you learned that late in your career.
So late in my career, I had to run some of these run pass options and zone reads. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't realize that when the end crashes and you keep the ball down in the red zone, things get tighter. The free safety realizes it's a run. He's the one who covered the quarterback. Aaron should walk in the end zone, and that's what he's thinking, in my opinion, watching the game. But he doesn't realize you get down tight in the end zone like that, the safety has no other responsibility. He runs after the quarterback.
So maybe the point that you're making here is that by putting Rodgers, as great as he is, into something he's not that comfortable doing yet down by the goal line, it's a mistake. At the end of the day, Mark's one point, though, John, as much as I agree with what you're saying, run the ball in the darn end zone.
Yes.
But if one of those passes is held on to, we're leading the show this morning with Aaron Rodgers is back.
He's had the game that everybody's expecting.
But here's the thing. He's always been great. There's never a time that we ever question Aaron Rodgers' ability. We never question, can he throw the ball? We never question, can he make the reads? He can do that. We know he can do that. We need them to run the ball. It's a team game.
Don't you feel like some of the conversation, though, this week, Acho, has, and the last couple of weeks has been, is this the right offense for Rodgers? Is he comfortable?
So question it because of Lafleur.
I think the answer comes down to
they didn't know.
Rodgers never left. And I think after last game we saw Rodgers never left. The question now for me is Lafleur and the play calling issues, specifically in the red zone when things start to tighten up. But like Sanchez said, Rodgers was throwing long handoffs. I mean, you couldn't walk down and hand it to a receiver any better. Rodgers never left. Lafleur has to match.
Final word on this.
If you think about this, Vilma, you played with Jimmy Graham. I played against the guy. If he's in New Orleans, he's catching those footballs. Rodgers put him where he needed to be. He was the best jump ball catcher you're going to find in the red zone. I was surprised that he didn't come down with one of them.
What did you make of what the Eagles did last night on the offensive side of the ball, Vilma?
Particularly running to Green Bay's right, their left, Green Bay's right. They had a lot of success. And going back to Aaron Rodgers and talking about these great quarterbacks that we have, when you run the ball, it makes it so much harder for a defensive coordinator to call plays. And then it makes it harder for a linebacker. Bobby's been there, Acho's been there, when you're like, man, they are running it down my throat. All of a sudden I have to sit there, read, run, and try to get back out in the passing game versus one of these top-notch quarterbacks.
The Eagles were efficient. You know, if you hopped on social media last night, everybody was like, oh, Carson Wentz, he went 16 for 27, had a horrible game. The dude threw touchdown passes on 19% of his completions. The Eagles went to the red zone 4 times, and they scored 4 times. The Eagles' offense was totally efficient.
I love Jordan Howard getting involved. Finally, that's what I wanted to see. This Eagles offense took off. But I'm telling you, the turning point of the game right before halftime was the Barnett strip sack, Brandon Graham with the recovery, and then at the end of the game, Malcolm Jenkins, savvy, veteran, defensive player, you played with him, He's one of the best in the game. He makes that play at the end and tips that ball.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.